Hello? Not me talking with the mic off. Alright. We're back! See what this trial has to offer. Hey, Nick! What is it? Is something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the deMasque glossy I bought. You bought this... where?
From the little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale.
You know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. Publicity photo. A shot of deMasque striking a pose. Come on, I'm guilty! Throw the book at me!
Who's screaming like that?
Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it! Yeah, I did. But it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! He's at it again. I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor, I admit it! But you don't have the sacred urn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. Normally, when I say, of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic. But you... Yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty. So make sure they give me a guilty verdict, please. Oh, there you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour. Well, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Hi, Kimono. What's with the crying emojis? What's wrong? Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. You see, actually, the thief... Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I could guarantee that my Ronnie is innocent. If he's declared guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. So why are you smiling when you say it? Had a bad day? Oh no! Well, I hope things get better for you soon. Be a good night's sleep. Let's get some rest. That sucks. Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nicky boy. Good luck! To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is deMasque or not. There's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I'll have to trust Desiree. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh my gosh, look, it's him! He's here! What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to... A stupid question. What did you say? Fine. Let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Did they change prosecutors? They did! They have a new prosecutor for every game. Are you ready to pass judgment? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I, the Doe. Legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case.
He's the one that Detective Hatme was talking about.
Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? Huh. None. What did you say? You recognize this theme? I think it's one of the most popular ones. It's really good. I've never prosecuted a case before. Never? You said you've never lost before.
Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either.
Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you?
Even the mightiest of redwoods began their lives as mere saplings.
Yes, but a mask in a court of law.
Huh. Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks. Either on our faces or over our hearts.
This guy's the real deal, all right, Nick. Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal?
So we finally meet. Mr. Phoenix Trite.
Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Trite. Just who is this masked man?
I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you.
Well then, Prosecutor Gobo.
It's not Gobo. It's Godot, Your Honor.
In any case, please give your opening statement.
Opening statement. Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Trite.
What is it?
Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two.
Well then, let's hear from the first witness.
My name is... No one has asked for your name, witness.
Oh,
The important thing is what you know. That's all. Start talking. We're listening.
yes, sir. All right, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole the urn. Yes, sir. Mask deMasque's crimes. Mask deMasque is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. He's so confident that he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card on to Lordly Taylor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Mask deMasque, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then the actual identity of this Mask deMasque is... Mr. Godot, what are you... I love this animation so much. We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot.
Blacker than a moonless night. Hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Oh, please, proceed.
Very well. It's only coffee, after all. Who gave him that coffee? There's literally someone standing at the edge of his desk sliding him mugs or something. There has to be. What? You can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Well, Nick, what are you going to do?
As long as they haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we could do is show that it wasn't Mask deMasque who stole the urn.
We press everything.
Have you been involved in the investigation from the beginning? Yep. Nobody knows more about the thief than me, pal. It's true. I'm a suree, author on thieves. An author? He's written books about thieves? I think he probably means to say authority. The fact is, this guy can slip through even my fingers, shows how good he is, pal. It's easy when those fingers happen to be butterfingers. Let's press harder. So nobody knows more about the thief than you, huh? You got it, pal. Except for maybe the thief's mom, that is. But isn't there someone who knows even more about him than the police? You don't mean Detective Svari, do you? Who is this person? Sorry. He sounds German. His name is Luke Atme, sir. I guess I shouldn't have made up such a silly name for him. What the heck? I guess he's not all that famous after all. Anyway, it's true that he did manage to retrieve the last item the thief stole. Oh, I see. It seems you're not the expert you claim to be. It looks like the thief is toying with me even now. Have you seen all of these so-called calling cards? I bet it was Avery's letting him his coffee. She could be a fan of his. I'm pretty sure she does like him. But yeah, maybe it is. She's not here today, so she could be in the courtroom, you know? Of course I have. Except, the person in charge of the treasure exhibit never brought their card to the police. So I didn't see this one until after the crime occurred.
That's because Detective Atme stopped Miss Andrews from taking it to the police.
Was the calling card that Lordly Taylor received authentic? Well, all the cards have one common identifying feature. But we're not releasing that information to the general public. But you're absolutely certain that the card is real. Gumshoe can't say it out loud, but I bet he's talking about deMasque's emblem. His fifth heist, and your fifth screw-up, huh? Objection, pal! That ain't fair. Maybe you could say I screwed up 4 times. But this last time wasn't even my fault. I didn't know about the calling card this time. You, of all people, shouldn't be chuckling about this, Detective Gumshoe. I just want everyone in the courtroom to know something. If you ever get a calling card from this guy, don't call some stupid private eye. Call your local police right away, got me?
Wow, looks like he's really got it in for Detective Atme.
Art pieces. Like what, for example? Well, his first target was the famous Tear of Emanon. What is that? Some kind of especially salty teardrop? No, sir. It's a blue diamond. A single rare diamond. Next was the Crown of Bongora. You know, the thing you put on your head. After that was the left hand of Hades, and then the portrait of Megina, sir. Detective Atme retrieved the portrait of Megina and returned it to the museum. And the target of his 5th and last robbery was the sacred urn, right? But isn't it difficult for him to dispose of such famous art pieces? Well, we assume he must have some underworld connections.
Somehow, Mr. Delight doesn't look the type.
Yeah, he's a little too sunny to be hanging out in the underworld. What do you mean when you say it fits his MO to a T? I was thinking of asking the same thing myself. I wish you would listen a little more closely, pal. First of all, there's the calling card. We're 100% sure it's authentic. Then there's the fact that he seemed to know all about the security system. And finally, his target was an art piece. These are all part of the thief's modus operandi. And so, since the robbery seems to fit all those conditions. That's right, it means that deMasque is behind it.
Man, it definitely looks like it was deMasque who stole the urn.
But there's no real evidence either way as to whether Ron Delight is deMasque.
But...
Also, the urn hasn't turned up yet, let alone in connection to Mr. Delight himself.
So even though we know it was deMasque that did it?
Maybe for the time being, I should try to show that it wasn't deMasque that did it. Okay. Art pieces, but it's broken. No monetary value. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Just hearing the little in that question's making me nervous. You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. The supposedly priceless urn doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean?
Nick, how could you say such a terrible thing?
No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of that urn? The appraisers I spoke to said that they couldn't attach a price to it. And I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that deMasque would normally go after. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Master deMasque. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... Well, first of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was this last robbery the work of Master deMasque or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? Sip that coffee, sir.
This coffee here is my own special blend. I call it Godot number 107. I'm trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing I've got on my mind right now. Mr. Trite,
What?
if you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess.
Sorry, but I don't get what you mean.
If you're saying that it wasn't Master deMasque that stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Master deMasque's methods. A fake.
A fake deMasque? Fake deMasque? That sounds so ridiculous. But I like it.
Now, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trite. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake.
Well, I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior. His point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. Looks like I'm going to have to prove it. We need proof that the person at Lordly Taylor that night was in fact fake deMasque. Speckled urn, huh? Let's see. Camera data. Photo. Red diamond. I guess it's the black ring, but that doesn't really have anything to do with Master deMasque. That's about Ron. That's such a nice mugshot. I don't know. Camera data. This is Master deMasque, supposedly. I'll try this, I guess. Oh, okay. Ah! When he stole the urn, his photo was taken. Who knows? Maybe there's something on that that shows he's a fake. Oh. White, black. Okay. I see how he looks. Two feathers? I mean, I guess it's the photo, right? Okay. The proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. But if you look closely, you'll notice something peculiar about it.
Huh. Well then, why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this pointer and show us just what about this picture is so peculiar.
I don't know. Box? I don't know. Nope, okay. He's missing the smiley face around his neck. Is that it? Oh, really? This one? Oh, I think you're right. You're so right. Right here, of course. You mean deMasque? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? The problem I have with the security camera photo is the brooch on deMasque's chest. A breach? Here. Bailiff, get my steed. We need to retreat at once. A brooch, Your Honor. It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. A clasp, eh? Ah, I see now. But the deMasque in the security camera photo. Ah! He has no brooch! You were actually right, let's go. That brooch is the same emblem on... That brooch is the same as the emblem on deMasque's calling card, and serves as a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this deMasque is a fake. I've been fooled again. Order. It's true. Undeniably true. Detective Gumshoe, how? How could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I...
Hey now. If you're going to have a pity party, invite me too.
Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame for this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch?
Ha! The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this?
Ah! That's deMasque's brooch? Where did you find it?
Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue.
Buddha statue? He must mean the Ami Faye statue. Why did you tell me about that, sir?
I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence.
This guy's one cool customer.
It's a little early to be shaken up, isn't it, little lady? That friend of yours left pretty little hickeys on there too.
Hickeys?
Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Rondelite's fingerprints.
What? What? The defendant's fingerprints are on the brooch? Order. Order in the court. Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch.
I've grown attached to my metallic girlfriend here. Take good care of her.
It appears to have been torn off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back.
Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene.
Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem.
Huh. You mess with Godot. And you get burned.
He's been playing me like a violin.
Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness.
Huh? You're done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet.
Proven your own incompetence. That's good enough.
That doesn't sound good at all. Bailiff, bring the next witness into the courtroom. Finally time for the ace detective to make his appearance, huh? Oh my gosh.
1 second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up.
Shh! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What's clear? It's funny. The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor. A coffee maniac at that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right.
Huh. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil.
Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Acme, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Boy, these two make a perfect pair. They'd either be best friends or they'd tear each other's heads off. I've heard that on the night of the crime, you were all alone on security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is... Oh, was worth anything, that is. Why was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason. I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. What I witnessed. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That is when my nemesis, the infamous masked deMasque, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble head. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I awoke, it was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, that's only natural. I fail to see why the witness seemed so proud of his performance that evening. Well, Sir Old-Timer, let me explain. We're not speaking of any ordinary thief, but the king of thieves, the great Master deMasque, my arch-enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience tell me. Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Alright, what? Where am I supposed to take this? So that would be 1 o'clock on the morning of the 12th, correct? That's an impressive deduction, Sir Lawyer. You were on security duty that night. Where exactly were you at the time? A penetrating question. I was in the basement warehouse, near the computer. Near the computer, huh? So then you weren't trying to remain hidden, I take it. Up to this point, I have tried to remain concealed while waiting for the thief. Yeah, he said the same thing yesterday, too. Gumshoe also said that they've never spotted the thief at the crime scenes before. Precisely! That is precisely why I chose not to hide last night. I knew that by not concealing myself, I would be putting pressure on the thief. Looks like the thief was the one applying the pressure. On your pigeony head, that is. In any case... Dancingly descended? From where exactly? Well, from the entrance, I suppose. Where else? So in actuality, he neither danced nor descended. Someone please save me. So how is it that you didn't notice the thief? My eyes were looking for the thief's shadow, while my ears listened for his footfalls. But even so, the dastardly criminal managed to sneak up on me. It can only be due to his subtly camouflaged cape and soft-soled shoes. I hereby dub you Ace Dunce. You didn't see the criminal's face when that happened. Well, that's the difficult part. How should I put it? I saw his mask. That's all I can recall. That's not very solid as far as testimony goes. However, fortunately, I had my third monocle, the security camera, at the ready. It captured his image perfectly. It should be sufficient, I believe. Well, as long as this photo is authentic, I don't see a problem here. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have a problem with the photo? Good, then let's continue with the testimony. Okay, interesting. Attacked and knocked unconscious, and you weren't able to do a thing? That's certainly some very impressive detective work. Well, Sir Lawyer, have you ever been suddenly struck on the head? Huh? Well, actually yes, by a fire extinguisher. And what happened? I was knocked out. And you lost your memory, too. You see? You have no right to look down on me then, do you? The only reason I didn't lose my memory was because I have more brains to begin with. May have brains, but the wiring to the self-reflection part seems to be severed. In any case, that was how I was knocked senseless. And then... It was 30 minutes. My silver cord was loosened, and my soul fled to the golden halls of Elysium. As usual, I have no idea what this guy is saying. I think he's saying that he was out cold. So, what happened during those 30 minutes? No one can say, Your Honor. That span of time has truly vanished into the ether. Just what is he going on about? There's something suspicious about Detective Atme. How could he not have noticed when the thief came in? Also, he says he was knocked unconscious before he could fight back. But that can't be right. It contradicts the evidence. Huh? Which piece? The real question is, why would he tell such an obvious lie? Okay. Alrighty. Mr. Atme, could you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, deMasque. It is, in point of fact, deMasque's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Ha! Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Aha! I can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I could think of. And there's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with the thief. The only person that was on security duty that night. You, Luke. You, Detective Atme. Detective Atme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness, giving false testimony is a serious crime. No. Wait just a moment, Sir Old-Timer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered, Your Honor. I was just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately.
The true measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say.
Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? You talk too much. Witness, so are you now saying that you and the thief fought?
Hold on. That's quite enough, Your Honor.
Excuse me?
Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my rules.
Indeed, I understand. I, Luke Atme, agree completely. Fight with the thief. Indeed, it is true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, Luke Atme cannot be so easily discombobulated. Unfortunately, the thief grabbed a weapon from the side and rendered me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bam! And that's all she wrote. That tells me nothing. In the end, you did catch a glimpse of deMasque. Correct! It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. Eh? That can't be good. So why did you look away from the door anyway? In addition to the camera, I had prepared a variety of other sensors as well. The alarm on one of those had gone off, so I had to check the data. That's why I went to the computer. Elegantly, of course. So you were momentarily vulnerable when you were working on the computer. What should I do? Should I ask more questions? Ooh. about the computer. So did that computer belong to Lordly Taylor as well? Correct. Well, except for the program that manages the data. Specially designed by me, Luke Atney. In that case, you could have easily manipulated the data. What's wrong, Sir Lawyer? Okay. I'm gonna ask about the sensor too. What kind of sensors are you talking about? The places in the basement that someone could enter and exit from. There are air conditioner ducts, sewer pipes, and a cat door as well. I hooked up heat-detecting, infrared, and ultraviolet sensors to each of them. That's a lot of hardware. Was it all yours? Lordly Taylor Department Store was kind enough to provide the monitoring hardware. Naturally, the security camera that took the photo belongs to them as well. In other words, he couldn't have rigged the equipment, huh? Has that cleared up any doubts you had about me, Sir Lawyer? Okay, but he can manipulate the data. I see. What does that mean? Discombobulated. Young people these days, they really irritate me. They allow perfectly good old words to die until everyone forgets what they mean. Sorry, but what exactly does it mean anyway? Now I've forgotten. What was I saying? Jeez, it's better than old people who forget what they were saying 5 seconds ago.
Well, looks like we've cleared that up. You can go on with your testimony.
What do you mean by weapon from the side? Naturally, the thief had no idea that I, Luke Atney, was hiding in the area. He grabbed the sword from the statue that was standing by the door to the warehouse. Sword? You mean the sword that was all twisted like a tree branch? Correct. Fortunately for me, the blade was not sharp. Okay, so he is talking about the Shichishito. So the thief armed himself with a sword. And what about yourself, witness? You had that much faith in your own fighting abilities? But of course, in college I was the second in charge of the boxing club. I'm sorry if I failed to find that appropriately impressive. However, my opponent in the ring this time was my arch nemesis, deMasque. This guy's a real piece of work. Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was powericious. Powericious? I assumed the Acme fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do I do now? Should I ask more about this? You were blinded. So what was this flash of light that blinded you? I was bathed in a golden light. That seemed to come from the statue of the woman. Statue of Ami Faye, I'm guessing. Well, that wasn't very much help at all. Well, what do you think, Nick? Well, there's one thing that I'm absolutely sure of now. Yeah? What is it? This Luke Atney guy is definitely hiding something. But why? I think I'm starting to figure out what really happened that night. And about the true nature of this detective. Okay. I'm going to ask about the Atney fighting style. What is this Atney fighting style? I'm sorry, but that is a trade secret. I really can't say any more. But I suppose I could tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall. That way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the Atney fighting style? Well, Mr. Wright, what about that testimony? It was very important. Of course it's important. We learned a detective's secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk alone late at night. Why the heck is he eyeballing me like that? It's creeping me out. Now then, witness. We'll go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. Put my back to the wall to fight, but the thief's blow landed upon my third eye. What? What? Okay. Where's this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you'd like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? Sir Lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Atme got hit on the forehead then? That's what he says. I've got a funny feeling about that. Actually, so do I. Okay. There's no way his forehead is unmarked by that. Detective Atme, your testimony's crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, Sir Lawyer. It is truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. No, that coward must have wormed his way in through somewhere besides the door. Then my arch-nemesis struck me on the head from behind with this gruesome item here. Not forehead, just head. From behind, huh? But just now, you testified that he struck you on the forehead. I hardly think you could forget where you were hit on the head. It seems I've made another mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hid the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong.
To err is to human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes.
Hey, hold on. It's not as pretty as that.
Really? What is it like, then? Always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules.
This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that... Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Wait a second. What if we said that? The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atme's true identity is actually deMasque. Yark. Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atme's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. It's because he analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. He picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Oh, please. The explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atme. The truth is that you are, in fact, deMasque. But, Mr. Wright, this photo, it clearly shows deMasque. The security camera belongs to Lordly Taylor Department Store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. And then he simply dressed up as the thief and stole the urn. So, the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? deMasque's MO is pure genius, and so am I, Luke Atme, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I'm impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you're admitting it.
Nick, now's your chance.
Yes, time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atney, when you assume the thief's identity... Ooh. No, Phoenix.
Godot blend number 102. My personal favorite.
Mr. Godot!
The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem. It simply isn't true.
But Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I
will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of a whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Mr. Trite. If this detective really is the thief, then show us the proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face.
Well, Mr. Wright, don't just stand there. This court would like to see this decisive proof you have. Quickly. Huh? Oh, yes, of course. That's assault, literally. I'm shocked that he is not burned. My boy is strong. What's the big rush? Are you alright, Nick? Atney looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. Can I really do it? The decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Atney is in fact masked deMasque. Luke Atney is masked deMasque? What if I said I don't? It has yet to be found. Proof? Of course I've got nothing.
Ha! Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high, no matter how bad things get, after all.
I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. This is no good. I've got to stay on the attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy is the thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think harder and try again. It's no good. I'm just not ready yet. But are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So, you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. It seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Godot, if you have anything further to add, then... Who? Who are you?
That doesn't really matter right now, does it?
Mr. Light, what are you doing here?
Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for.
I think I found it. You mean that bag?
No, not the bag.
What's in the bag?
Well, it says Ami on it.
That's the secret urn! Nick, it's the urn! Order, order, order! You, madam! That urn! Where did you find it? You'll never believe it. It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants Ace Detective, Luke Atney. Oh, Desi, you're the best! Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atney? Even you're going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one.
Objection!
Ha! Pathetic.
Mr. Godot, you have something you wish to say?
Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad.
Still denying that Mr. Atney was involved.
Before casting aspersions at Detective Atney, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree. Desiree Delight. Is that correct?
Yes? What about it?
Ha! How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring.
What are you insinuating?
As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered the stolen urn anywhere, including the office of the good detective here. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it.
What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. It is a bit sus.
Please, madam. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we've been witness to.
You're wrong. I would never do such a thing. Miss Delight. Please, Nicky boy. You've got to help me talk some sense into these people. There must be some way. I've got to prove that urn was actually in the Atme Detective Agency. Fingerprints! We touched it! I can prove where the urn was. By the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, eh? Oh, come on now. Now you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints indeed. May I go on? Good. Now, it would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I am always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? The witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? Come too far to turn back now. Atme must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left their fingerprints on it. It was you, Phoenix! The defense proposes that the fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. It's a me! So what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atme, do you recall the events of yesterday? Hey, Nick, come on, open it up. Hey, wait a minute. We can't just open his private property. Don't be such a fuddy-duddy. This is an important investigation. Well, what's in there? Hang on a sec. I'm taking it out now. Whatever it is, it feels kind of hard. Smooth. Well, hello there. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the bag at the time. But I did touch what was inside. What? You touched it? And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on that urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atme's office.
Objection!
Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it?
Of course it does.
What did you say?
It's not what I say, but what Adrian Andrews, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. I polished it until it was just about glowing. I thought maybe I could make it look more valuable. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Atme Detective Agency.
Huh. This blend. The dope blend number 107. I've decided. It's a little too bitter after all.
Order, order, order. I accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this urn and... Wait! Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that. No need, you say? Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn. What are you saying? Yes, I've finally broken him down. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. You see, it was me all along. I am the one and only deMasque. I hope you all enjoyed my little performance. I love him so much. He's such a character. Well, Mr. Godot, what is Mr. Atme's condition?
He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be.
Well, looks like the matter has been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of the thief.
Nick, you were right after all.
Yeah, I guess Mr. Delight really wasn't the thief. Court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. You're wrong! Wrong, I tell you! I mean, not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say. Oh no, he's not. This can't be happening. The thief! The sneaky, odious thief who's been stealing all the treasures! It's me! I'm him! I'm the one you want! I'm the thief, I tell you! So do it! Pronounce me guilty, please! I don't know what kind of a kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief has already been proven. Please hurry and pass judge... What are you talking about? I already confessed! I'm the thief, I tell you! Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee.
Ha! Hey there, Mr. Thief.
Yes, yes, sir.
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean.
If you are Master deMasque, then prove it. That's what it means.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to.
He says he'll be happy to, Nick.
It's kind of cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy.
Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man.
I know that. I won't fail, I swear.
Hey then. Talk. We're all listening.
Oh, well. Let's all have a listen to this confession. Master deMasque's identity. The truth is, I've been Master deMasque all along. I mean, you can't prove that I'm not actually Master deMasque, can you? I don't have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen, after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo. That's me. As for my brooch, I snagged it on the door handle and it got torn off, that's all. I don't like the direction this trial has taken. This is how every trial goes. At least with me, anyway.
Ha. You're doing great.
Stop it, Mr. Godot. You're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify, alright? But if you make it through with the flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master deMasque.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best. All right, Mr. Wright. I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Oh, Ron. Mask all along, you can't actually prove that I'm not Master deMasque. I thought you were going to be the one to show us the proof. You know, that you're the real Master deMasque and not just some kind of obsessed fanboy. Hey now, that's not fair. Why do I have to do all the hard work anyway? Maybe because you're the one making the outrageous claim. For a change.
Come on, Nick. You know that Mr. Delight couldn't have committed the crime. You're the one with the fancy law degree. It's time to put it to work already.
Need some kind of proof that Ron couldn't possibly be Master deMasque.
Well, I guess if you had that kind of proof, we wouldn't still be here, would we?
For the time being, maybe I need to shift strategy. I should try to show that Mr. Delight couldn't have stolen the urn. Anyway, okay. You do, though. It's right here. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct? Oh, that's... What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail? According to this letter, at 1 o'clock in the morning on the night of the crime, Mr. Ron Delight was ordered to go to the offices of KB Security. 1 o'clock in the morning? Correct. which is around the time the security camera photo was taken. So, if the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi. No! Furthermore, considering the distance between Lordly Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car, according to Larry anyway. Well, Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee.
Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong.
You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. All right, I'll try. I'll do it, I will. Really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school.
Mr. Wright, it's true that I received that blackmail letter. But whether or not I actually went there is a whole different story, right? Oh, sorry if I'm sounding dramatic. I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. Huh, it was brilliant.
Well, Mr. Wright, looks like you need some more evidence after all. Stupid kid! Now then, let's see your evidence. Demonstrate to this court that Mr. Delight actually went to KB Security that night. Wait, how old is Ron? Phoenix is 26. He's oh my gosh, they are kids! Oh my gosh. Okay, wallet. Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct?
Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away.
No, you don't understand. This is an important piece of evidence.
Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet?
Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner.
This wallet was found at approximately 1 a.m. at KB Security headquarters. What? Surely you're not serious. Yes, I am serious. This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night. No!
Huh. This is indeed sad. Romanticists are blind to the reality that lies before them.
Huh? What does that mean?
Why did Mr. Delight drop his wallet at KB Security? What purpose did it serve? Perhaps it was dropped by his wife to create a false alibi for her dear husband instead.
Sorry, but Mr. Delight probably dropped it himself when he went to use this. The keycard to KB Security's CEO's office.
CEO's office?
What's wrong? No snappy comebacks? The fact is that Mr. Delight entered the CEO's office around 1 o'clock that night.
No!
Order! So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. Looks like a perfect case for the defense.
Objection!
You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot blend number 107 impresses me a lot more.
What are you trying to say?
You say that the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. But, did you actually investigate the CEO at all?
Huh? Well, no, I guess not.
Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what I think of that.
Not sure what I think of that. At least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office. But you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright. I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy. No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite?
There's someone else who could testify. This is the person who can testify that the keycard was used at 1 a.m. that night. Larry! Who is this useless-looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. But just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat.
It looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago.
Probably blocked it out of his memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night.
Oh,
Time for bed. Oh, good night, Kimono. I hope you have a good rest. Sleep well.
The question at hand is this key card.
Yup, that's the key card. That's the key card they use in the building I work. According to the serial number, this one's for the CEO's office. You need it to get into that room, and every time you use the card, it leaves a record. Yeah, it tells you exactly who entered the room and when.
As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing the keycard's data. He really had to take a sip just for that. Well, Mr. Godot.
the name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullard. I was unable to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here.
So what does it show?
Each keycard has its own serial number that they each keycard has its own serial number, and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 a.m. on the morning of the crime.
Let's go. But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed up as deMasque in this photo.
Huh. Looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe.
So then...
Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be deMasque.
Good job! You did it, Nick! That's enough. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Very well. Court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight. Not guilty! Woo! Court is now adjourned.
Nick, you did it! You were right after all! Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself.
Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Miss Delight. I just know I'm blushing.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick!
Oh, pearls! I've got a bad feeling about this.
Who is this woman?
Oh, she's nobody. She's just,
You're blushing! How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself!
ouch! She slapped me.
Pearly?
This woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife.
Mr. Nick!
Yes?
You're even worse than I thought! Going behind the back of your own client?
No! You've got it all wrong!
I'll never forgive you!
Ow. A double slap.
Well, anyway, all's well that ends well, right?
We got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Boy here. But actually, it was you, Miss Delight, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now? What is it, honey? I did my best for you, Ronnie. I know, and I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is... Come on.
Give the kid some time. He's just got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo?
Mr. Godot, what are you doing here?
Oh, come on. I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite.
Maybe you should learn my name before you call me Buddy.
Well, playtime is over.
Huh?
Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered.
Kane Bullard? Where have I heard that name before? Isn't that
The name of the CEO of KB Security?
Wait, body?
The estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th.
1 a.m. on October 12th? You don't mean...
That's right, amigo. At the same time that a cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered.
So then, what are you doing here?
Come on, you figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about that piece of info I helped you out with today?
Help me out? What?
October 12th, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Delight was in the CEO's office, the scene of the murder. After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbued with utter rage.
What are you saying? I'm brewed with rage.
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Delight was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
An employee of KB Security?
It looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the noose that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi.
No way!
Can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No! That's a lie! It can't be true! Oh, but I am a thief, I tell you!
Ron Delight, you're going back to prison again. This time, the charge is much more serious. This time, you will be tried for murder.
What? This is impossible!
I'm looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge? You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two?
I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here.
This guy, who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced.
Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight.
Nick, how could this be happening? Right in front of our very eyes. Our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Ronnie! Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's going to happen next? Okay. I'm going to assume that the investigation might take a little while, so I think we'll just end stream early here for today. I do have some work I need to catch up on. So thank you guys so much for coming. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!